today we are going to be making chocolate chip banana bread, which is the most popular recipe on my site. This is CJ. He is my 5-year-old. You wave. Do you like to bake?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like making banana bread?
Mm-hmm.
Whose recipe is this banana bread?
Grandma's.
Grandma's. This is Grandma's banana bread. This is what my mom made for me growing up my whole life, and it's the best. And it's super versatile. You can make it into muffins. You can make it, mix in whatever you want. What do we do first? Bananas?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's peel the bananas. So while he's peeling them, I'm gonna show you how brown they are. This is about where you want your bananas to be for banana bread, because that makes them nice and
I
sweet.
can't peel.
Okay, that's
peel
fine.
the
Here, I'll get it started and then you finish it and put it in the bowl. Okay, and I usually use 3 or 4. If you only have 1 or 2 bananas, I've got another recipe on my blog for 1 banana bread. And I like that one a lot because sometimes you don't have 3 or 4 bananas sitting around. Okay, so we're just gonna get these peeled and in the bowl. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're mashing the bananas with the whisk. And because this is such a good whisk, right?
Mm-hmm.
It mashes really well. You can do this with a potato masher. You can do this with an electric hand mixer. But one of the things I love about this recipe is how versatile it is. So you can add peanut butter cups, like cut up some Reese's peanut butter cups. You can do like a ribbon of cinnamon sugar in it. You could do any kind of chips you want. Butterscotch chips are really good. Butterscotch chips and chocolate chips. Here, let's throw these away.
Okay.
Or white chips. You can add sprinkles. And then a little fun fact is that if you have almond extract and butter extract and you mix them together in equal parts, so like half a teaspoon of butter and half a teaspoon of almond, it tastes like that cake batter, like kind of funfetti type flavoring. So you can put those in and some sprinkles and make like a funfetti type banana bread. Okay, you ready for the next step?
Mm-hmm.
We need 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Okay, so that was 3/4 a cup of sugar, so go ahead and mix those up, or mix that up. Mix that up. Okay, now's your favorite part, the egg, which I forgot to get out before we started. Okay, here's an egg. Yep, can you crack it and put it in? Oh, let's see my screen.
It was leaking, Mom. It was leaking on it.
That's okay, that's okay. Did you get it in?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. You wanna go wipe your hands?
Sure.
So we've got the egg in. So next we've got vanilla and oil. And then here's something too. With this recipe, another thing that I like is it's really forgiving, really forgiving. So you actually don't even need the oil. A lot of times I don't add it out of like sheer laziness. I'm not even trying to be healthier. I don't feel like getting out another measuring cup, and so I don't add oil. If you add oil, you can skip the egg if you want, because you've got the banana in there, which is a lot of times used as an egg replacement. So, oh, and then also like if I'm making these and I'm really trying to make them like nutrition filled, you can add flaxseed to this. You can use like half whole wheat and half white. What else do we do? You can use an egg white substitute. You can use a flax egg. I don't know if any of you ever do that, but it's a really forgiving recipe and really easy to make changes to. Okay, so I did the vanilla and the oil, and then what comes next? Okay, so now we're gonna put in our dry ingredients. You ready to do the flour? Sure. I have tried to make this with like gluten-free ingredients, and I didn't like how it turned out. But if any of you have success doing that, please let me know, because I have a lot of readers who ask me about it. Okay, so we need 1 of these. Ooh,
That's big
that
flour.
is big. Also, just a side note, I don't ever measure flour correctly, like ever. I actually just kind of loosely pack it here on the side. So I don't pack it in real tight, because then you'll have dry bread. But I just kind of loose. Don't want dry bread. I loosely pack it on the side. And what I'm trying to say is, again, it's just a really forgiving recipe. So that's kind of nice.
Whoa.
Okay, so we need 1 full scoop of that. This is baking powder. And we have a combo of baking powder and baking soda in this.
1.
A little,
That's
sorry, just
little.
punched you in the face. And there is a little science behind this if anyone is interested. Here, go ahead and put that in for me. The baking powder, hold on, is what we have more of. So we have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we only have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And the reason for that is that little bit of baking soda gives it the initial lift when it's baking, kind of pops it up. And then, there you go. And then the baking powder takes a little bit longer to activate, and that's what helps continue to give it its rise while it's baking. Just one. Just if
mix
anybody wanted to know.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you can go ahead and mix it.
It's getting sticky.
It is getting sticky.
And there's so much in the whisk.
So I'm adding a little bit of salt there. I know.
Yeah.
Here, yeah, I'll help you with
This is
this.
hard.
It does get a little bit harder here at the end. I talk a lot about over whisking or over mixing things in my recipes, like muffins, quick breads, and stuff like that. You have to be really careful about.
We did with the chocolate
Again, this
chips
is just a
and then-
super forgiving recipe, and actually you can mix it all you want and it'll be fine. I got banana bread in here. Okay, so we're gonna switch to this. Okay, so now we're gonna add chocolate. You know what? I'm pretending to measure the chocolate chips, but the truth is I don't ever measure it. I think it's a cup, but I just dump some in, so hope that's okay. All right, you got this spoon.
That's enough.
I know it's enough.
That is.
You can bake these into muffins instead of bread.
It's hard.
Yeah, and all you have to do is scoop about 1/4 cup into greased, muffin liners or baking cups or whatever, and they bake for about 20 minutes. So this bread is actually going to go in the oven for about an hour.
Oh.
So we're switching now, and I want to talk to you about your baking sheet or your baking pan. I've used a bunch of different ones, and I don't always follow my own rules, but this is the best thing to use, is the metal ones. I made a loaf earlier in a ceramic loaf, and it takes longer to bake. So you'll see the bread got a lot browner on top, and it's like maybe even a little burned because it takes longer for the heat to circulate on the inside. And anyway, so if you use this kind of a pan, it'll bake evenly all the way around, and you don't have to run the risk of burning it or drying it out. And then we've got a little bit of foil in here, and we're gonna spray it a little. All right, you ready to pour it? I measured this before we started, and it's like 9.5 by 5.5, which is
Can I do some?
which is like the bigger, wider loaf pan, if you know what I mean. And that's important just for the same reason that I said using a metal pan over a ceramic, just that it's gonna bake more evenly. If you have a smaller one, then your loaf is taller, which means you're gonna have some batter in the middle. It's not gonna bake all the way through. Okay. Okay, so I sprinkled some more chocolate chips on top because I think it bakes up pretty. We're gonna put it in 350 for about an hour. I planned ahead, which I never ever do, and made a loaf of bread earlier today. And you can see I did it in a ceramic one because I think it's pretty. But you can see how brown it is up top, and even like along those edges there, you can see it got a little burn. And that's because it needs so much longer to bake, like probably a full 10 minutes if you have to bake it in a ceramic one. Let's see. CJ, do you want some banana bread? Is this recipe on your website? Yes. If you'll just search something swanky chocolate chip banana bread, it'll come right up. And then, let's see, I'll put a link to it up on Instagram and Facebook later today too. Here, you wanna come say bye?